Curriculum evaluation aims to examine the impact of implemented curriculum on student learning achievement so that the official curriculum can be revised if necessary and to review teaching and learning processes in the classroom. Curriculum evaluation establishes specific strengths and weaknesses of a curriculum and its implementation, critical information for strategic changes and policy decisions, inputs needed for improved learning and teaching, indicators for monitoring. The ultimate goal of curriculum evaluation is to ensure that the curriculum is effective in promoting improved quality of student learning. Student assessment therefore connotes assessment of student learning. Assessment of student learning has always been a powerful influence on how and what teachers teach and is thus an important source of feedback on the appropriateness implementation of curriculum content. Basically, according to these experts, curriculum evaluation is the process of delineating, obtaining, and providing information useful for decisions and judgments about curricula. The process of examining the goals, rationale, and structure of any curriculum. The process of assessing the merit and worth of a program of studies, a course, or a field of study. The means of determining the program whether the program is meeting its goals. The broad and continuous effort to inquire into the effects of utilizing content and processes to meet clearly defined goals. And the process of delineating, obtaining, and providing useful information for judging decisions alternatives. Consequently, curriculum evaluation is also concerned with finding out whether the curriculum is relevant and is responsive to the needs of the society and the learners. It is a scientific and dynamic process of understanding the merit of any curriculum. Now, here are the purposes of curriculum evaluation. According to Print 1993, identified several important purposes and functions of evaluation in school setting are essential in providing feedback to learners, provide useful information in helping the students improve their performance, and helps teachers identify strengths and weaknesses of the learners. Helpful in determining how well learners have achieved the objectives of the curriculum. Describes whether the students learned or mastered the desired outcomes and objectives of the curriculum. To improve curriculum, the result of evaluation serves as basis for improving curriculum and for suggesting innovations to improve learning. In addition, curriculum evaluation is also useful to administrators and teachers in many different ways. For example, evaluation helps in making decisions about improving teaching and learning processes. It helps in shaping academic policies. It guides in initiating curricular changes and innovations. It ensures equality of any curricular program and it helps schools align their curriculum to different curriculum sources and influences. It determines the level of success of the school's vision and mission. So, what to evaluate? First, we have the goals and objectives. It is important to note that the contents, materials, and methodologies of a curriculum must fit the goals and objectives to which such program are conceptualized and even developed. Next is the content and methodology. Contents of the developed curriculum or any educational program need to be examined and evaluated in order to determine whether they relate with the needs of the learners whom the curriculum was developed. Lastly are the outcomes and the results. Outcomes evaluation is conducted to draw out information and data that can be used in improving the curriculum as a whole. What are the forms of evaluation? Evaluation may take two forms and both can be done to provide data and information imperative in arriving at a particular decision. First is the formative evaluation. It is the process of looking for evidence of success or failure of a curriculum program, a syllabus, or a subject taught. And summative evaluation. It is the form of evaluation used at the end of the implementation of a program. Curriculum evaluation models. Conducting an evaluation of a curricular program requires specific and systematic procedures in accordance with certain approaches and techniques that have to be determined based on what needs to be evaluated. The following models can be used in the evaluation process. The Tyler's Objectives-Centered Model in Curriculum Development Process. Tyler's ends-means model begins with defining the teacher's philosophy, followed with identifying the desired outcomes spelled out in the forms of educational goals, purposes, and objectives, and then proceeding with designing and evaluating by the curriculum accordingly by means of examining the three essential elements, and those are the learners, the life in the community, and the subject matter. Basically described as rational and systematic, Tyler's objective-centered model in evaluating curriculum has been found to be advantageous as it is relatively easy to understand and apply. Next, the Stubble-Beam's Context, Input, Process, and Product Model, or the CIPP. It was developed by Phi Delta Kappa, chaired by Daniel Staffelbeam in 1971. This model accordingly seemed to appeal educational leaders and emphasizes the importance of producing evaluative data that can be used for decision-making, since the view of the Phi Delta Committee that worked on the model was the condition or the decision-making is the sole justification and rationale for conducting an evaluation. Next is the Stakes Responsive Model. This model is developed by Robert Stake in 1973. This evaluation model gives more emphasis on a full description of the evaluation program as well as the evaluation process itself. It has three essential elements. The antecedents refer to the conditions existing prior to intervention, transactions which pertain to events or experiences that constitute the program, and outcomes which are the effect of the program. It has two special aspects may also describe this particular model: the distinction between intents and observation, and the difference between standards and judgments about what effects occurred. Lastly, the Einer-Conosure-Sipp model. This model is developed by Elliot Einer in 1979. Through his background in aesthetics and education, this model is an approach to evaluation that gives emphasis to qualitative appreciation. Einer argued that learning was too complex just to be broken down to a list of objectives then measured quantitatively to find out if these objectives have been attained or that learning has taken place. Therefore, it is imperative that in evaluating a program, it is important to get into the details of what is actually happening inside the classroom, instead of just considering the small bits and pieces of information.
So, from this video presentation, I guess you all know now that curriculum evaluation is a necessary and important aspect of any national education system. It provides the basis for curriculum policy decisions, for feedback on continuous curriculum adjustments, and processes of curriculum implementation, and that the fundamental concerns of curriculum evaluation relate to effectiveness and efficiency of translating government education policy into educational practice, status of curriculum contents and practices in the context of global, national, and local concerns, and the achievement of the goals and aims of educational programs. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you've learned something. Till then,